Hi everybody, Alicia with Expressions by Lish. Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2026, and it is Live with Lish. If you're here, please make a comment so that I know that I'm all hooked up and ready to rock and roll. So I live in St. Paul, Minnesota, and we've had some cooler weather around here. Hi Lori, how are you? So today, right now, it's like 56 degrees, so it's a little bit chillier. It's been chillier in the mornings. Not great for flowers, but it's still early yet. Mother's Day is this weekend, so in the cities around Minnesota, usually planting starts around after that. And, or when the lilacs are in bloom, then the ground is warm enough to start planting, so I'm really excited for it. I could use some color. I'm enjoying the green, but boy, could I use some flowers. So today we are working with the Springtime Scenes bundle. It is, it's an online exclusive that came out in March. Hi Debbie, I'm glad you're here. And I fell in love with it instantly, and I finally got a chance to use it, and I was blown away by the dies. The dies are fantastic. So yeah, if you have any questions, please, you can comment on this video, and I will answer them the best as I can. If you'd like, you can send me a message. You can get all my contact information at expressionsbylish.com. So I'm going to flip my screen, ta-da, so that we can talk about the new catalog. This came out on Tuesday. It went live. We can flip through it. It is so awesome. There's a lot packed in this smaller catalog, I think, anyway. It's 87 pages, and Stampin' Up! Is no longer doing an annual catalog. They're doing, it's like quarterly, I would think, but it's May through August, and so everything that's in this catalog will be available through the end of August. And it always says on the very back page of your catalog at the bottom, it will say stampinup.com, and then it says catalog sales period. So it's May 5th through August 31st. So if you're ever in doubt, it's always on the back. I did not know that until just the other day. So yeah. Hi Mom, how are you? Okay. So I just want, if there's anything that you want to talk about that's in the new catalog, we certainly can today. If you have any questions on any of the products, I'd be happy to help answer them, as I said. And we are using some new stuff today. So that's, I mean, it's I'm not going to say it's an old stamp set, because it's not. It came out in March. But it's not new from the May online exclusives or the May catalog. So okay, so and I said before about Springtime Scenes, the dies, you guys, are phenomenal. And there are so many dies on here that you do not have to use the stamp set with. So if you've been on the fence, or if you're okay with splitting up a bundle, I think this would be the one to do it, because these dies, you guys, the circles and our frames, and they are so great. So there's a regular circle, and what's nice is this one not only cuts out the middle, but it also cuts out a thin little border frame, which is so cool. And then there's this one. There's a great label die in this one for sentiments, and it has a stitched edge around it. I really like that. Just sitting. Lucas is here visiting Mark. Oh, cool. Very nice. Very nice. Lucas is my cousin. My first cousin. He's one of the younger ones. I'm the oldest in my mom's family. I know. I can't even believe it. But all right. So these are the dies. The stamp set is also pretty fantastic. You brighten my day. Sweet springtime, sending lots of sunshine. I love sending lots of sunshine. We'll get through this together. So it's multi-use sentiment and celebrate new beginnings. Has ladybug. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves, a flower, and then this grass pattern. I did not use this in my cards. I just kind of forgot. It's pretty cool. Okay, so let's set this stuff aside so that we can get started. So for my weekly online classes to go, if you receive $50 in my online store, so for this one is the Springtime Scenes, this one runs through Sunday the 10th. So when you place an order of $50 or more in my online store, you will receive this card class to go for free as a thank you gift from me. And these are the cards that we are going to make today. There's the new Celebrate New Beginnings. And then me with my lemon lolly, I'm obsessed lately. And then this last one, I cased Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Terry Gaines. She's a Minnesota Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. She's super nice lady. I've met her a couple times at events. And I cased her card on this. I was drawn to it because it was the red, white, and black. And also, it goes well with the we'll get through this together, I thought, and still bright enough. You know, it doesn't have to be so woo. And then, so yeah, I cased her card almost exactly. I thought it was so pretty. All right. So these are the 4 cards we'll be making today. And then in your kits, you will receive, these are how you receive your card kits. Each packet is everything that you need to make a card, minus obviously what's in the stamp set and bundle. If there's anything that's not in the stamp set and bundle, I will include that in your kit. I was going to say something else. Oh, there's no pre-stamping guideline this week. So there's no extra 8.5 by 5.5 sheet of white paper in your first card. So if you're looking for that, there is no pre-stamping guideline this week. Okay, so let's get started. So I did all the die cutting ahead of time to save on time. And there's minimal stamping this week. And I don't think there's coloring on one thing. That's right. One thing. All right. So in your card kit, you will receive a Highland Heather card base that will be cut and scored for you, a piece of basic white for the inside of your card, a piece of Pretty in Pink that will be embossed with the new floral spray embossing folder. Oh my gosh, you guys, this embossing folder is gorgeous. I believe it goes with the Lily of the Valley suite. Or Valley in Bloom, maybe? I can't remember the name of it. But so you'll receive that. You'll receive a piece of the brand new Painted Patterns Designer Series paper that's new in the catalog. This is Gorgeous Grapes, so this is part of the Regal family. And this, it comes now no longer in 6x6. These sheets come 12x12. But you'll receive this in your first card. A piece of Gorgeous Grape to cut your circle. Granny Apple Green for your leaf. Basic White for your sentiment label. Lemon Lolly, Strawberry Slush, and Basic Black for your flower, your ladybug, and your leaf. Now, I want to say this so in case I don't want to forget. When you die cut out your ladybug, it will cut out 3 of the dots. I used one of the pink dots for the center of my flower. So when you're die cutting, try to remember to save one of these. All right, so let's get started, you guys. First thing we're going to do is we're going to fold and burnish our card base. And then I'm going to pull out some gorgeous grape ink because I am going to stamp the sentiment. I don't know if you can tell, but I stamped Sending Sunshine on the front of the card, the bottom half, and then I also used the sentiment, You Brighten My Day. I liked the look of this. I thought that was really unique. So let's grab our gorgeous grape and our sentiment that says Sending Lots of Sunshine. Okay, and what I should have done is when I was making these cards and designing them, and I didn't think about it till just the other day, was that I should have used the Sending Lots of Sunshine on the Lemon Lolly card instead of another You Brighten My Day. I mean, You Brighten My Day works as well, but it's a thought when you're making your card if you want to swap those around. So I'm just looking for a piece of scratch paper here. Okay. So what is everybody up to today? My mom said she's fine. Lori's good. Debbie's good. I haven't really done much today. I got ready for class today. I cleaned out my scrap paper drawer, and that is always a big job, I think. Okay, so I am inking up the Sending Lots of Sunshine, and I'm going to start, there is no like measurement, I just kind of am going to start, and I'm going to start by stamping, and I'm not stamping the whole sentiment right away. I want it to hang off the edge. Okay, so you have something that looks like that. And then I'm just going to, let's see, I think I'm going to go, I'm just going to keep making a line down here. Okay, and then I'm going to just keep moving it to get more of the verse, if that makes sense. And then like that. And let's go Sending Lots at the bottom. And you'll see some of it, and I'm not going straight across because I started high and I'm gonna go low. So then over here I'm just going to, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm increasing how many letters or words, and it's okay if they overlap. Okay, I'm going to do that. And now remember, this is going to be covered up, but I am going to put, just in case, no, it's going to be covered up. I don't think we need to worry about it too much. I'm going to add a little down at the bottom here, just like that. All right, so that is how I did the front of my card. I think that's very fun. Something different. So this is what that looks like. Okay. All right, so the next, I'm going to get this out of the way. And then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to do our mat stack. And now when I first designed this card, I was just going to leave this and I wasn't going to emboss it because you're not going to see the whole thing, but you are seeing some of it peek out, and it really just added that extra amount of texture I felt that was needed for the card. Okay, so we're just going to add some seal onto our back, and too, this is the back side of the big dot, so if you'd rather use the other side, feel free. It's gorgeous paper. I absolutely love the Color Family paper this year. Okay, and then this is going to go like this. And we're going to put that right on our card base with seal, because we're going to have a lot of other things popping up. So I'm not going to put it up on dimensionals. And I am not, I'm just kind of eyeballing that of where I would like to place that. Okay. All right, now I am going to move these out of the way because I have all of this stuff done. And I'm just gonna grab my little bag here of all my doodads. These are the little pink dots I was talking about. And I have 3 of them. I guess I cut out 3. All right, so I'm gonna take my gorgeous grape. Isn't that pretty with the Highland Heather? I'm just looking to see. And I just glued this down. I'm just putting some seal on that. And I want it to cover up some of the words, but not all of them. And I want it, I'm going to leave probably about 3/4 of an inch at the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to take this sentiment label, and then we're going to do You Brighten My Day in Gorgeous Grape. So if you guys had a chance to look through the catalog, is there anything that just shouts at you that you absolutely, positively have to have, or something that maybe you didn't order and yeah, thinking, oh, I wish I would have got that, or something that's still on your wish list? Okay, You Brighten My Day, and I am going to stamp this on the right side of my label die. Okay, I'm going to close this up, and we are going to place this on, and we're going to use dimensionals to adhere this down. Just going to use a couple, and we're going to place that right about here. Then I stamped or die cut my leaf, but I haven't stamped it yet. Debbie, yes, I have been looking. Yeah, it's you know, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like I look through it and look through it and look through it, and then the next time it's like, well, I didn't see that. And I've been looking at it for quite a while. All right, so I am just going to, you'll probably want to stamp this and die cut it. I am just winging it here. And it's a little bit easier because, you know, it's a photopolymer stamp, so you can see through it. So it's easy to line up. Not too bad, not too shabby. Okay, and this we're going to slip underneath here like this. That's why I only put a couple dimensionals. I'm not going to glue, well, yeah, I'm going to just glue that down. What the heck. Let's put some seal on that puppy. And we're going to put that right there. I'm going to let some of the leaf stem stick down from underneath the sentiment. Then I'm going to take my ladybug. This is such a cute ladybug. I just love it. I'm going to grab some liquid glue. Debbie, and you're not done, huh? Yeah, and the online exclusives are pretty awesome too, because there's the Silly Old Bear Suite. There's, oh, that Splash and Relax, you guys, from the May online exclusives. I am in love with that, and I cannot wait to play with that. I've seen such really cute things. There's a demonstrator, her name, I think, is it Michelle? She's the Owl Stampers, Owl Star Stampers, and she has done just some gorgeous stuff with that. So here's our little ladybug, and I use strawberry slush on this one to match the strawberry slush in our embossed mat. And I'm just going to put one dimensional on there. And I'm just going to kind of put him or her right about there. Then I'm going to put a little dot of glue in the center of my lemon lolly flower. This is that cutout from the ladybug, and I'm just going to add that right there, and then I am going to actually slip that right under here, and I am going to use glue for that, and we're just gonna tuck that right under there. And so that's under the tag. Then I'm going to take a piece of a basic white baker's twine and make a bow. Like that. Okay, and we're just going to futz with that a little bit. I don't want it too big. And then I am going to take a glue dot, and as Melissa would say, she's going to put the knot on the dot. I'm going to put the knot right on the dot. And we are going to tuck that right under the ladybug. And it's a little bigger than I'd like, so I'm just going to pull a little bit because it was covering up the sentiment. I'm just going to pull it a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to trim up my ends of my bow. And then, I don't know if you guys seen these yet or not, but oh my gosh, you absolutely have to have these. These are the new in color butterfly embellishments. These are awesome. So it's in all the new in colors, plus there's like a, it's kind of clear but kind of white. And so there's the Barely Blush, or I always want to call this Calypso Coral, Crisp Cantaloupe, Golden Glow, Peaceful Pine, and Hydrangea Hue. These butterflies, I'm in love with these butterflies. Absolutely love them. Okay, and we are going to use the, let's see, which ones did I use? I used the Barely Blush. So I am going to start with a big one, and I'm going to go down here, and then I'm going to take a little and go right here. And then I'm going to take another big, and we're going to put him right here. And there you have it. There's card number 1. What do you guys think? I really like this card. It's different. It's not something I normally, the style, but oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, card number 2 is the Celebrate New Beginnings card. That is this one. Oh, thanks, Debbie. Yeah, it's cute. I like the colors, I guess. I don't use Gorgeous Grape. I love purple, but Gorgeous Grape I just never use very much, and I thought it went so well with this card. Okay, so Celebrate New Beginnings is card number 2, and this also uses new in colors and some more new DSP. And this DSP is called Bloom Boutique. This DSP, you guys, is gorgeous. It has gold accents in it. Thanks, Lori. And then like this is the B side. You guys, the B side is so gorgeous. I love, love, love this print, and I don't even care for green, but I am really loving this Peaceful Pine. It is gorgeous. Okay, sorry. You guys, I am just in awe of the new products that came out. Okay, so in this card kit, you will receive a piece of thick basic white cardstock that will be cut and scored for you. This piece of basic white is not for the inside of your card. This is to die cut all of your white die cuts. Then you'll have a piece of Hydrangea Hue for your mat, for your DSP. You'll receive a piece of vellum, a piece of Peaceful Pine to cut out your leaves and sprig, and then you'll receive, this is for your sentiment, a piece of basic white, and then you'll have a piece of Barely Blush, Calypso Coral, see, I'm going to call this Calypso Coral all the time, Crisp Cantaloupe, and Hydrangea Hue for flowers. All right, let's get started. Oh, and then I have my pieces cut out already, so I'm just going to set these aside. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold and burnish my card base. I've already mislocated one of my bone folders already. We're only on card 2, right? And then I'm going to take my designer series paper, and I mean, you could probably do it like that, but I liked the hydrangea hue. I really like this. Hydrangea hue kind of reminds me of, like, you know, in crayons there was like cornflower and periwinkle. Kind of reminds me of, like, kind of in between that. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to adhere this to my cardstock mat with even margins all the way around. And I'm going to flip that over and I'm going to add seal to the back, and we are going to place this right on our card base. And even margins again all the way around. Okay, and now I did pre-cut. So this is the white die. Isn't that pretty? And I love the detail that cuts out in the leaf. And then I used the circle die to cut the vellum. Now it's not going to be exact, but we'll make it look exact. And then what showing is going to be covered up with leaves in sentiment, so that it will work out. Okay, and then here's all my little parts and pieces. So the first thing that I am going to do is I'm going to flip this over, and I am just going to, I want to put, I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm going to put it on some of these leaves. I was going to say flowers. Some of these leaves, but not all of them. You don't need it all. It will stay stuck. Okay. And then we're going to place that right like that. And it's pretty close to fits. Okay. Then I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to put glue where the white is. Otherwise you'll see it will show through the vellum, but if you put it where the cardstock is, that's hidden. Okay. I'm just putting dots. And then I want the section that is open down this way where the flowers and the leaves will mostly be. And I'm putting this not in the middle, but closer to the top. I would say probably a 1/2 inch from the DSP mat down. And I'm just going to press that down. Okay, then I'm going to take my flowers and I'm going to flip those over. Well, first let's put on the little centers. So I cut out 3 of these middles, and I'm just going to take and add some liquid glue to the middles, and then I am just going to place those in the centers. There's really not a wrong way or a right way. So what is your guys' favorite color so far for the new in colors? I'm in love with Crisp Cantaloupe, but to be honest, I love them all, even Golden Glow, and I'm not a yellow girl or a green girl, and I love them all. Okay, so we're going to flip these over, and I am going to put a dimensional in the center of each one, just like that. And then I'm going to peel these off, and then I'm going to start with the Crisp Cantaloupe and place that, and I'm just not pressing it down yet. I'm just setting it there. And then the blue one, it's going to overlap it a little. Then the Barely Blush. This is the softest, prettiest pink, you guys. I always want to call this the, what was that one pink? Was it Blushing Bride? Debbie, you love them all too. I know. Oh, wait till you see them in person. They are just stunning. Okay, so I'm just taking the little pieces that didn't come out from the inside of my die here. And you just mainly want to make sure the top ones are out because that's what you're going to see. But I always like to pick them all out. And there is a way that you can do this where they come out, but I just figure there's not many there. Okay, so now I'm going to start building. Now that I know where the placement of my 3 flowers will be, I'm going to start placing these, and I'm just going to set them because I'm going to pick them up again anyway, but I want to kind of have an idea of where I want them to go. And instead of putting the detail die over the outline, I decided to just kind of keep them apart a little bit. I thought that was a neat way of doing it. This would be great. This is a great leaf to use two-toned cardstock because you can do the darker and the lighter of the same color. I think that's really cool. Okay, so I think I ditched my little piece of white paper because I thought it was what did I do with it, you guys? All right. Well, I got rid of it because I thought it was scratch paper, I think. Okay, let's just grab a scrap and we will cut this because I think it's only like 3 1/4 by 1 1/2 for the sentiment. And I chose not to use the label die for this. I think it's 1 3/4 because it was a little bigger than I wanted. But we are going to use the Peaceful Pine for the I am sitting here giggling watching you glue because I had to use some super glue today and it would not stick and I wasn't paying attention and my dishwasher stuck just wonderfully to the wings. Mom, what were you doing? Oh, okay, so this is the new stamp set. All the ink colors are in new cases. They are magnetic, and eventually I'm sorry I got distracted by oh, your dish rake. Oh no, Mom. Sorry you guys, I'm laughing at my mom. Okay, so they're magnetic ink pads. They open like this. So they're separate. They're very easy to open. They can magnetize this way or this way, whichever way you prefer. I've been doing it mainly like this, but I've also opened them like this. And then for labeling, I haven't put my label in the middle of this one yet, but I can show you on maybe some of my other ones. Okay, so Celebrate New Beginnings. And now this is a different type of pad than our other stamp pads. So you want to, before you start, using it on a project, you might want to practice just a little bit. Yes, it's so much easier, Debbie, to open than the other stamp pads. I absolutely love these, and all the colors will transfer over to these in 2027. Okay, so it's a little bit different because it's a different material than our current stamp pads. So I just kind of walk mine on here to get a good amount of ink. So like I said, practice a little bit first if you're not used to using this type of ink pad. And then let's just stamp this on this little piece of paper here. And there you go. Peaceful pine. So pretty. So, so pretty. And then you just closed, done, put away. They do fit in the Stampin' Up! Organizer. It sticks out a little bit further than the other one, but it has not bothered me. So I was really worried it was gonna really like stress me out that it sticks out a little bit, but it really has not caused any problems for me at all. Okay, so I'm gonna start, and I'm going to use a dimensional on the back of the solid leaf, and I'm gonna grab out my minis here because I can always tuck another one underneath if need be, if I don't have it in like the right place. So I'm just gonna start tucking these around my circle, and then this, I am just gonna put glue on the right side of this leaf. And then flip, did I do, yeah. And then we're just going to put that like so. Then I'm going to take this, this is what this normally would do, is you would take and you would put this over the top, but you can use them separate. And then I'm just going to put some glue on the back, and I'm just going to slip this right underneath the Barely Blush flower. Okay. Then I'm going to take the white. I love these dies, you guys. I know I keep saying it, but oh, these are great. Does anybody have this set, and have you used it yet? Okay, because I really love it. Okay, now I want this to also go under the hydrangea hue. So I'm just gonna pick that up, and we are going to go like that. Okay, and now I'm going to place my sentiment. And now I want my sentiment to go like that. I want a couple of the flowers over the top. So I'm just going to take and I'm going to put a big dimensional. Well, I got two there. Right? Stuck together. Perfect, right? You don't have the set, Debbie? Oh my gosh, I just love the dies. Okay, and I'm just taking it and I'm just slipping it underneath the flowers. Just like so. And now I did go over a little bit further than I did on this one because I have my flowers a little bit lower down than I do on this card. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a mini on the back of this leaf, and then I'm just going to place that right underneath the hydrangea hue. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm just going to put glue on one side. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to slip that right under there so you have your little floral spray. Then we're going to add some butterflies because like I said, these butterflies, you guys, if I can get them, they keep falling. And I'm going to use the crisp cantaloupe. Okay. Here they are. And I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. And we are going to use one here, a big. And we're going to use a little. And we're going to use another big one right like this. I'm just going to make my triangle and put that there. And I love that the vellum mutes the DSP just a little bit. That's why I put the vellum on the back. It mutes it just enough so that this is, you know, the DSP does not take away from the focal point. So there's card number 2. I am going to take a sip of Diet Coke because my mouth is so dry. All right. Okay. My throat is still bugging me. I don't know. I've come to the conclusion that I think I'm just gonna have this cold now for the rest of my life. All right, card number 3. And this is a lot of yellow and green. I've been really trying to work outside of my comfort zone, and I've really been using colors that I normally wouldn't use. Oh, your butterflies are on their way. Yay! You're gonna love them. And so yeah, I normally would never use yellow and green, but like I said, when you do stuff that you normally wouldn't do, it's amazing. Like, I can't believe how much I like it. Like, it wasn't really hard for me. I really like that card and I love the colors. Oh, thanks, Mom. Okay, so Lemon Lolly card base. It will be cut and scored for you. A piece of Lemon Lolly cardstock that will be embossed with the Lazy Daisy 3D embossing folder. A piece of basic white for the inside of your card, and a piece of basic white for your white die cutting. A piece of Granny Apple Green for die cutting, a piece of Daffodil Delight for die cutting flowers, a piece of Lemon Lime Twist for die cutting, and then these are more of that painted pattern DSP. This right here is Daffodil Delight, so we use that on our first card. It has the big polka dots on the back and the small ones on the front, or on the other side. And then this is Granny Apple Green. And then the other side has like, it's really cool. If you saw the whole thing, it's like the brushed on look, paint brushed on look. And that you received those. Okay. I'm going to, let's see, I need these 2 things for sure. And this. Alright, so first things first is, you guessed it, we're going to fold and burnish our card base. Okay. And we're going to take our emboss panel, and now you can use liquid glue on this. If you are going to use seal, just use a very light hand, because if you go too hard, you will rip your paper, because the embossing does change the fibers in the cardstock. Alright, so we're going to put that on our card front with even margins all the way around. This is another one that I feel this embossing folder is a must-have for your craft stash. I absolutely love that. Okay, and then we're going to take and put seal on our Daffodil Delight. And I really liked the Daffodil Delight with the Lemon Lolly with the DSP, especially because this DSP has the lighter, it's like the 2-tone cardstock. It's really pretty. And now this will go flush with your mat on top and bottom. And I'm leaving ½ inch, maybe a little less on each side. Push that down, and then this piece I am going to make a banner, and I'm going to guess the middle, and I'm not going to go too far up, and then I'm just going to go from the corner and up to where I cut, and I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the same exact thing. There we have our banner. And this goes right down with seal as well. Okay. Excuse me, I'm so sorry that I have to keep clearing my throat, you guys. Now this I am not putting up flush. I am going down about 1/4 of an inch from the top of the the mat stack, not the card. And I'm just placing that in the center, but not side to side, not the middle. You know what I mean. Okay. Mom, I am terrible. I really don't like that card. You don't like this card? The yellow and the green? Oh, I love it. I think it's pretty. All right. So now I'm going to take out my parts and pieces that I've already cut. We all have our own likes, you know, our own colors, things we like and things we don't like. That's for sure. And my mom and I have completely different taste on just about everything. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some stamping. I've already die cut my ladybug out of the basic white. I'm going to grab my black stamp pad, and I'm going to grab my ladybug. And now, oh, thanks, Lori. Lori does, yeah. Lori loves yellow and purple. I'm going to ink up my ladybug, and now for you, when you have your kit, I would stamp it first and then die cut it. I am going to go right over the top, and I'm going to line this up as best I can. Ah, pretty good. I'm getting pretty good at that. Practice makes perfect, right? Okay, and then I'm going to stamp my sentiment, You Brighten My Day, in Granny Apple Green. Mom, yeah, you got that right. Yeah, we don't like the same stuff. Let's see, what did I just say? You Brighten My Day. I'm going to clean this off because I used it in purple the last time, I think, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, this I cut apart. This is that card that I was saying that you could use sending lots of sunshine. You could do that one as well. So I'm just going to stamp You Brighten My Day. And I am going to fussy cut that apart. But before we do that, I want to color in my ladybug. So this is the only real coloring that you're going to be doing, and I'm going to use Poppy Parade and Basic Black and some Wink of Stella on my ladybug. And then I'm going to grab out my scrap paper here, just because I don't want to make a mess. And then when I use my blend markers, I always start with the dark and then go to the light. Yesterday I did make a video, and I loaded it on YouTube yesterday, on how to use blends. Just a basic how-to, nothing really in depth, just how to use them. And then I used this Silly Old Bear Suite for my examples yesterday in that video. And it is, I show how to use the dies that coordinate with the designer series paper. So they're not everybody, you know, because when I first started, purchasing, and don't worry if you get some red in there, because in the dots, because you're going to cover it up with black. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, the dies. When I can't remember if it was the Pansy Patch. I think it was. Now I'm just going to use, I'm not going to color the whole thing with Basic Black because the dark I am going to go over with the light. I'm just adding some shading. But I didn't know that, and I was like, oh my gosh, the dies match the DSP and I can cut them. I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. And so yeah, I made a little video showing that the characters, you can die cut them out of the designer series paper. So that's really cool. I really like that. That's like one of my favorite things. So, and like I said, I just kind of just go over how I use my blends. There we have our ladybug. Let's put these away. All right. Set that aside. Okay, now we're gonna fussy cut, you guys. Yay! This is pretty easy fussy cutting though, I think. I'm just gonna cut this, and I'm just gonna cut these apart, and I'm going to go straight on most everything on these. So I'm just gonna cut them apart. You could use your trimmer, but it's kind of a close cut. So I'm just hand cutting. And then for a tip that I learned from Heidi Collins is, she's another demonstrator. When you're using your scissors, if you put your fingers underneath the blade, you have an easier time of it going straight. And I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but it really makes a difference. I was like, how did I never not know that? So yeah, you can just use your fingers as a guide to keep your scissors straight. I never knew that. So yeah, we all learn from each other. So now I'm going to do the actual fussy cutting, as I'm just going to make little curves around, but I'm still going to keep it semi-straight, if that makes sense. I don't even make sense to myself some days, you guys. Okay. That. And then like so. Okay, we have my day. I'm doing the same thing. And especially when you have like just this little piece like that, just steadying your finger underneath that makes such a difference. I just can't even believe it. First time I saw her do that, I took a class. It was a retreat. And it was a couple years ago. And I was like, when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, how did I not know that? It's like, man, I mean, I don't do anything straight, but that really does help. You'll have to try it and let me know what you guys think. Okay, brighten. And then the same thing with the U. Especially if you just make one, it's pretty darn straight, I have to say. Always amazes me when I hear like tips and tricks. I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Okay, I got a little close on that, so I'm going to go back. I'm just going to cut down a little bit further, and it will look like I did that on purpose. I'm going to go around the Y. I'm going to go around here again because, like I said, I cut it a little short. Alright, so now we have that all done. It's like, I'm just kind of pushing this over to the side here. Okay, so I cut two of the same circle die cuts with the leaf pattern at the bottom, because I wanted the leaves to be green and this. And then after I did this, I was like, I could have easily just cut the white and colored the green leaves. I always do everything the hard way the first time. So, you know what? What I did was then I cut these out. Why did I do it like that? You know what, you guys? I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to just color this one green. What do you guys think? Do you think that's a good idea? I think it's a good idea. So if you'd like, you can do what I did, and I just cut these out, and I put this, you know, and cut that off. But I'm going to just color these. You know, the light bulb goes off, right? What is the saying? Work smarter, not harder. Well, I definitely work harder all the time. So I'm just going to take my Granny Apple Green, and I'm just going to do some coloring, and it doesn't take much. I'm just going to go around And I'm just making little, because I'm going to go back with my light. Boy, I amaze myself, I tell ya. Now, obviously, you will have both in your kit, and you could do whichever way you'd like. But yeah, I'm just going to, I'm wondering if you know what I bet I did? I bet you I cut out just the circle out of white that gives you just that border. I bet you that's what I did. But this just makes so much more sense. There. And that was a lot easier, and I didn't even have to get my fingers super sticky from trying to glue that all together. So that's up to you. I will put a little, I've already written the instructions, but I will add that in on the instructions. Okay, so we're going to take our circle and we are going to glue that right down. And I'm going to use my liquid glue, and I'm just going to go around like this, so, and then I'm just going to just dab it on these leaves here. Okay, and I'm just going to place that, and I'm just using the Banner die cut DSP for placement. Just like that. Okay, then we're going to take the detailed leaf die, and I'm going to of Lemon Lime Twist. This is the outline, and I'm just going to poke these out. You don't have to if you don't want to. If they're in, you could just leave them. But I am going, you could use adhesive sheets if you didn't want to use liquid glue. But I'm just dabbing. Just like that. And I'm not even hardly squeezing on my bottle. Okay. Then I'm going to add this to the Granny Apple Green. We're going to put that. I like the look of this. The darker with the lighter. Okay, we have that. And I am gluing this right down on my card. I'm just dabbing the leaves, and then because you use liquid glue, you have time to kind of futz with it. But before I futz with it, I'm just going to put this right here. Okay, and that. And like I said, I'm just adjusting. Okay, I'm going to take my ladybug that we already colored, and I am going to add some dimension, two big ends. So does anybody have any plans for Mother's Day weekend? Let's see. I'm going to place the ladybug right here. For Mother's Day, we are actually going to go to St. Cloud on Thursday next week. My brother graduates from college. So now I'm just taking the Granny Apple Green, because I reversed it. I'm using Granny Apple Green for my detail die and Lemon Lime Twist for the bottom. And I am gluing these together unlike on that second card. And I'm just going to put that together. So we are going to go on Thursday and spend the day with my mom and my brother. Like I said, he has his graduation ceremony on Thursday night. And so we decided that we would just all be together on Thursday. So that will be really nice. I'm so happy for my brother. Has a job now, sort of, it's like his field. But he got a better offer on a different job, so. Okay, so there we have the leaves, and we're going to place those over here, but I'm just setting them on there. Then I'm going to take my white, and I'm going to put a mini dimensional in the center. Okay, and I am going to lift these up I'm going to place my flower there. Now I'm going to put my glue, and I just always put glue towards the bottom because it can stick up. The leaves can stick up. It won't cause any problems. And we're just going to place them like so. And now I did not put, oh, I forgot to cut out a yellow center. Okay, so in the center, you'll die cut out a Daffodil Delight. You'll die cut a yellow center. I forgot to do that. And then you're also going to die cut the Daffodil Delight flowers, and you're going to cut out white ones. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to flip them over, and I'm going to put minis on there. And then the minis will show, but we're going to cover those up with embellishments. And I'm just going to place them right in the centers of the backs of these little mini flowers, these little daisies. And I just love it because that embossing folder with the daisies is just perfect for this. I just love it. Okay, so the white ones we are going to place on each side of the ladybug, like so. And we are going to do the same thing with the Daffodil Delight. We're going to place them around the white flower. Like that. And I'm going to lift this one up a little bit, and he's going to tuck right there, like, well, maybe a little bit over here, because I got to put my bow on there. Okay, so I'm going to grab my bow maker. This is my bow maker. I don't know if I've used this on camera before. This is my bow maker, and I am going to make a triple bow. So I just go 1, 2, 3. Debbie has one just like this. I ordered this from a retreat I attended by Christine Bertram. She's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Wisconsin, and she was selling these at her retreat. I think her dad made them. Yeah. So it's nothing fancy, it's just a board with holes and some nails, but oh boy do I love it. And then it kind of reminds me of a cribbage board. It has the holes right here that you can slide the nails in. It's really nice. I like it. Okay, we're gonna grab my ribbon scissors and we're gonna give that a cut. And now we have our triple bow. And we're gonna take and we're gonna add a glue dot. Put a dot on the knot, and we're going to put that right here. Okay. Then I'm going to trim the tails. Then I'm going to grab some of these dimensionals. These are called Array of Dots. These are really cool. They're shiny. They're glossy. I just love them. Okay, and we're going to use the yellow ones. Lemon Lolly, I believe, is the color. And we're going to put them in the centers of our flowers where those little dimensionals are sticking through. So that's a nice way to cover those up and still be able to use your dimensions. Okay, and now we're going to add our sentiment, and we're going to flip them over, and we're going to add minis on the back of that. Okay, I got glue on my fingers, so now everything is sticking to my fingers. Just like that. And if you need to, you can cut your dimensionals in half if they don't fit. Alright, so I'm going to peel these backings off. And if you do not like to fussy cut, like I said, you could definitely use the Sending Lots of Sunshine because it's a little bit longer. It's not the chunky sentiment. But when I saw this card, and I think this is the first one I designed for the class actually. Okay, I'm going to put Brighton on first because that's going to go in the center. And I'm just using the banner to line that up. Then I'm going to take U. I'm going to put the U, and I am separating them. I'm not pushing them together. Whoops. The backing didn't come off. Alright, I'm going to put that there. And we're going to put my day here. And let's move them over a little bit. This is why I don't push them down right away. Alright. And you will cut out a yellow center for the middle of your flower, or you could color it with your Daffodil Delight blends. That works as well. Oh yeah, I put Wink Estella on the ladybug. I wanted my ladybug to shine a little bit. So I did add Wink to my ladybug. Because come on, she's the star of the show, right? Okay, you guys, there's card number 3. I just gabbing too much. I should be done by now, right? What do you guys think? Do you like it? I know Mom doesn't. Okay, you guys, now we're on to card number 4. This one goes together very easily, very fast. All right. So in card kit number 4, you will, thank you, Debbie. Thanks, Lori. You will receive a piece of basic white thick cardstock that will be for your card base. It will be cut and scored for you. The piece of white will be for your white die cutting. The piece of black is for your black die cutting. A piece of basic black for your matte, and then the embossed vellum that's embossed with the Ladybug embossing folder for your matte stack. You'll receive a piece of real red for your Ladybug. So everything that you see that's black or white will be die cut out of this, including your sentiment. Okay. And then, like I said, I have cut these out ahead. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to take and I'm going to fold and burnish my card base. And then I am going to take my vellum. And now I normally don't put too much seal on the vellum because it shows through. But I am going to put just a couple dabs on each side so that it doesn't furl up, but I am going to put quite a bit in the middle because it's going to be covered up. And I'm going to place this on my black. Now your black matte is the same length as your vellum. So you're just going to butt that up to the end, and it's 1/8 of an inch on each side. And then you're just going to lay that down. Okay, and see what I mean about the seal that shows through with the vellum, but we're going to cover that up. But when you use just a little dab, yeah, you're going to see that, but it's not going to be super noticeable. And then I am going to run seal across the whole matte stack. And now this I am going to place not in the middle, but pretty darn close to the middle. Okay, just like so. Okay, and then you're going to die cut the white, and then you're going to die cut the black circle. I bet you that's what I was supposed to do with the yellow card. And then, like I said, the circle die cuts out circle and then the frame. And I'm going to take some liquid glue and I'm going to put that all the way around, and we're going to place that over the top of our white leaf die cut. Okay. And I'm just going to place that right on the top. Again, you could use adhesive sheets, but I thought this was no big, it was okay to get sticky for this one. Okay, so the same thing goes as with the vellum. This is not the perfect size for this, but it gets pretty darn close to the same size. And so since I am covering it up on this side, I'm just going to make sure that if there's a little bit of opening, it's going to be covered. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my die cut, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to dab glue on the leaves. Because you don't need to put it around the outside because it's not going to adhere to your black circle. So just put them on the, okay, and then I'm just going to take it and I'm going to, and because it's a circle, it doesn't have to be just going like this, lining that up as best I can. Now if you have a different circle die cut that you'd like to use instead, by all means, definitely could use it, but I didn't think it was that noticeable. Then I'm going to take it, I'm going to flip this over, and I am going to put dimensionals on the back, just like that, and I'm going to use, let's use 3. Okay, I'm going to flip this over. Like I said, I'm going to be notice of what has the biggest opening. I'm going to place this just on the left side of my card, and it's probably 3/4 of an inch from the side. Then this is our sentiment. We'll get through this together, and we're going to use the black for our sentiment. Again, I love when it's the font is printed and cursive. I love that. Okay. Such a pretty font. And then I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this. And I must have black on my fingers because it's showing up on my dimensionals. I'm not quite sure why I'm putting so many on this one, but I am. I should have put more on the circle than this little rectangle, right? Okay, and we're going to put that right, yeah, you know what, like that. And I'm just leaving a little bit on the side here. And I think I better double stack. So I think what I should have done was I shouldn't have put so many dimensionals on there, but this is fine. We'll just double stack on the other ones. I'm just flipping them under. Everything can be fixed. Okay. I'm going to try to move this a little bit. Okay, because I don't want it to go over the vellum mat. And then I'm going to take this leaf that the black, and I want this one to go like this. And so I'm going to put a couple mini dimensionals on some of these leaves that are not on the top or the bottom, but in the middle. And let's see, I think I'm just going to do 3. Whoops! Like I said, my fingers are sticky. I'm going to peel these backings off. Okay. Alright. And I am going to place that right like this. I'm not going to push it down yet, because I want to take my ladybug and I'm going to add some glue to the back of the red, the real red die cut. Add add that to the black body. Just like that. And then, because I want the ladybug to go over the leaf and rest on that. So I'm going to take some glue and put that at the top of the ladybug on the little antenna and the head. And then I'm going to take a big dimensional and I'm going to put that towards the bottom. Like he's climbing up there. And then I did not use the butterflies on this card because I thought that has to be the ladybugs, right? And I have them right over here. Okay, I'm going to grab our ladybugs. And we are going to put 3 ladybugs on our circle of leaves. And I'm just kind of placing them in a triangle, just like they're crawling all over, right? Because we'll get through this together, all of us. That's kind of what I was thinking. All right. And then one that's going this way. And there's card number 4. So let's bring all the cards in. What do you guys think of this? I'm going to leave, ladies. Deb and Lori, have a nice Mother's Day. Bye, Mom. Talk to you later. Okay, let's bring all our cards in. Okay, so what's your favorite? There's the purple, the hydrangea hue, the lemon lolly, and the white and the black. So there's all of the cards for springtime scenes. And for the class to go, you'll receive these card kits as a thank you gift from me when you place an order in my online store if it's $50 or more. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day and crafting with me. Lori, you like the white and the black one? Oh, good. I was worried that people weren't gonna like the white and the black one. Debbie, you like all of them? Yeah, I do too. You know, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Whenever I'm making a card, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my favorite. I absolutely love it. Then I go on to this card and go, oh, this one's my favorite. I love it. So, I don't know. I don't know which one my favorite is. I think I'm going to have to say I like them all. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And like I said before, I appreciate taking time out of your day to sit and craft with me. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. My contact information can be found at expressionsbylish.com, or you can comment on this video and I will get back to you. All right, you guys, talk to you later. Bye.